Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we will go into the Flashback Sunday with full Holy with Nebuchadnezzar. If you guys remember how good this was, although it was very briefly because right after Nebuchadnezzar was dropped into the game, I think less than 1 or 2 months, we got our first Chaos Immortal Loki into the game. So this didn't last long, but when people had this maxed out, it was mega OP. In my opinion, it was really good, and it was crushing people easily with this march. And also, this Holy March was special because Holy March back then went from, I would say, a sustained march, like you have like Charles instead of Kublai Khan before Kublai Khan was dropped. But when Kublai Khan did drop into the game, I think Kublai Khan did manage to change how the march was looking like. It went from a march that sustained for 2 minutes until maybe 40 seconds with, constant damage, and the damage from Manko was insane. So in this video, we're gonna take a look at the flashback and see if we can recreate the peak of this Holy with the current skills, with maybe adding some of the legendary skills as well. So now let's take a look at some of the skills that I would put for Kublai Khan. I would probably run Spear Impale or Smite, but it depends on what you have. But I think Spear Impale is pretty good as well to reduce the defense, and Adrenaline Rush and Wind Rage to increase the energy regen of Kublai Khan. I think that's very good as well. And if one of the backliner can actually use the Berserk Aura, I think it's going to be working well for him, because what you want Kublai Khan to do is you want him to use his ultimate as much as possible, so you can, increase damage taking to the enemies. And so Manko will do a lot more. For Manko, as you guys, Manko is a special immortal where he has like 18 or 20 seconds delay in the beginning, where his ultimate was don't pop up. I think White Realm gonna be very good for him. This is like an OG build, of course, and you have Victory Pursuit and you have Demonic Contract. This is very old build. I think I would probably run similar like that if I don't have any legendary skills. But if I do have legendary skills, I'll probably run Battle Frenzy, Attack and Defense, maybe even Drastic Action. It really depends what kind of team you're meeting, but if you want to go like legendary skill route, I think they are a way to go. And now let's take a look at the backliner. As for backliner, I would probably go for something like this, because Nebuchadnezzar, I want his ultimate to pop up as much as possible, because he's not gonna be the main damage dealer in the team anyway. He's gonna be the support damage dealer to the Manko and Kublai Khan, and I want him to be using ultimate as much as possible. That's why I use Fighting Master, so he can proc his ultimate all the time, no matter what happens. And then you have the one like Energy Shield and Purifications in case I get wounded, in case I get damage on Nebuchadnezzar, and I think Energy Shield is gonna help out. And of course with the Theodora, today I would probably use the assist. I would probably use Spring of Life to get sustain, and then I would probably use the life protection if I had that. It's a legendary skill, but if I don't, I probably use probably the absolute defense. If not absolute defense, I would probably use the Wine and Dine to get more damage out in case if I heal a lot. That's definitely gonna work out. I think this setup gonna be working well in against some of the matches. Do I think this setup is worthy of, I would say, being in the meta? I think this one is very niche. This Holy is not as good as before, unfortunately, because Holy is, has some of the most interesting immortal in the game, in my opinion. And sadly, some of them were in the meta for just 1 or 2 months. Now let's take a look in the game and take a look at the holy team that I think used to be very OP. And I remember when people had this and people struggled to fight this. Nowadays, with the Chaos Immortal, unfortunately, this mod is not as popular anymore, and people, turn away from Holy almost completely, except for Theodora, and and Holy Dragon, of course. But the rest of the Immortals, I don't think they're relevant anymore. And let's take a look at the reports on the Nooms. You can see here, I think it's doing well in my opinion. And this is like a random build that I had over actually the same build that I have in the video. And it's doing great in my opinion, not doing too bad. And the healing is there. And I think a lot of people tend to overlook because this much tend to not be able to fight a lot of people, right? And actually, let's go take a look at Arena a little bit. Let me set up a little bit before we actually test it out. I got, I had my friend lend me his account so I can do this for myself, so he don't have to be online. And I'm gonna test the Holy for you guys and see what kind of match it is. Let's remove this. So let's go only Holy. I don't mind losing because it's very early in the arena stage anyway. So let's go only Holy and see how it does against some of the players. I probably lose a lot because, as you guys probably know, Holy is not that special anymore. And like you see here, this is a pretty good Holy build, right? And it can't even beat Earth and stuff like that. Maybe it do have something to do with specializations, stuff like that. Yes, do you want to go this in 2025? I would say it's not worth it. The only one that I think is worth it is Theodora. The rest, I think you will have a hard time making them work for your money and or the best value. And I did a tier list video earlier this week, and I put both Monko and Kublai as an A and B tier because of this particular reason, as I show you guys in the video right now. It doesn't do well. It doesn't used to do like what it used to be. Like when everybody have the same 3 skills and stuff like that, it's very difficult to build around the Holy March. And if you want to go this for the nostalgic part of the game, you can definitely do that. But if you want to have a Holy and compete with the big guys like the whales and high spender and spenders in the game with Chaos Immortals, right? I think you will struggle a lot, as I struggle against Mr. President and his Earth Elizabeth team. It's very difficult to go through, and although I would say I did pretty good damage in general, right? But if you look at Alex, it did way better. I wish maybe it was something different, but unfortunately it has become like that, and I think the game slowly pushes Holy to a side. Even I think Shadow is very stronger right now, and Shadow is way more flexible into several matches. So if you want to go for either Holy and Shadow, I would definitely go for Shadow Immortals. Like you have Tutankhamun, you have Björn, you have Himiko. You have 3 Immortals that you can flex into various teams. While Holy, such as this team, you have only Theodora, who can, actually be good in several teams. But yeah, I think Holy in 2025, I think is a mistake for a lot of people. If you want to go for that, definitely something you can collect for sure. But if you want to make it the main team, I think you will be disappointed. So yeah, that's around it for this video about Holy in 2025 flashback video. This March once used to be very, very strong. peak of holy performance until Chaos Immortals came, and then this march was pushed to a side by, if for example, if you take away Nebuchadnezzar and then you had Loki, something like this right there. This was become like the new meta thing, and then other immortals start to drop. Some people use Athena when she came out, and it becomes something like this, right? People start to transition to another team, and then you have Fu Fei came out, and people start to go something like this, and then after that again, this one started to came out, and people start to do something like this, and this one is very strong march until today, and it still worked very well to today, and yeah, and then you keep moving around a little bit, but that's its transition from the original holy marches. As you can see, only Theodora left, and nowadays with Ninetales, and now you only have this holy dragon left. So yeah, that's a little bit about the storyline for the Flashback Sunday for Holy March, and yeah, thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.